Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulaiman Rahim here, Mr. Covenant, break of the seven seals. Sisters and brothers, I have a special presentation for you today. It's words from Elijah Muhammad, Master of Master Farrakhan Muhammad. His words. Now, we're going through the Holocaust. Everything that you're going to see in the next few days will be a result, primarily a result of the Holocaust, which they're denying. But they can't deny the consequences they're about to receive. So everything I talk about comes back to the Holocaust. Now, we have the accuser of our brethren, as it says in chapter 12 of the Revelations called the AL-INJIL. That's FARRAKHAN. He's a demon. He has taken possession of the Nation of Islam. He's part of the Holocaust. The Holocaust continues in a mental form, but still continues. And now America's under judgment. And we see in this last broadcast they had on October 2nd, 2022, it's a total ripoff of what I've been saying without accrediting me and distorting the scripture by using part of the scripture and instilling. That's what falsehood is. False is not, see, that's the danger of falsehood. It's mixing truth with falsehood. It's mixing truth with lies. That's what falsehood is. That's what they've done. So they switch everything around. So, well, the Bible is 75% prophecy and 25% history, but that's not true. But anyway, they say that. And then they tell you what side is history, what side is true, and they play games. And if you've been paying attention to any of my presentations, they took a great deal of respect. And in fact, this week, they took a whole lot of it from this week, incorporated and said nonsense, because they're under fire. They're under fire right now. So they got to start trying to recover, because they haven't been talking about all the things that's going on now in the world. And I have been. And so they're trying to regroup. So anyway, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get right to this presentation. Now, what you're going to see here is, this is Elijah Muhammad talking to a Japanese reporter. Right. He's saying things in here that you will not find in Mr. Black Man, as I've been telling you. You will not find in Fall of America. You will not find that Our Say Has Arrived, or How to Live, or any of those books. Some of them you only find in Mr. Black Man, which I have many old Mr. Black Man. Well, I did mention Mr. Black Man, but I'm talking about, I meant to also say Muhammad Speak newspaper. I have many old copies of Muhammad Speak newspapers here. I just sell them. I was deal with the messenger. And many other things you won't find in there either. And then you have Table Talk, and you have Theology of Time. You have lots of things here. And a lot of these so clowns like Eric, they weren't even around then. They have no idea what they're talking about. And they got hold of Mrs. Black Man and Fall of America, and I'll say the right. They think that's all these lies I'm taught. And I keep telling you, 90% of what he taught is not any of those books. And this is an example. And anyone listen to this and still, Farrakhan is a stone cold lying dog. Because no way you can listen to this and still be with Farrakhan. There's no way, absolutely not. Not just this. I mean, I could go all day long going Theology of Time. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to waste time with these clowns. I'm going straight after the jugular vein, these demons, and finish them. But you can go through there and you can play these things back and say, how the hell can these people claim that they realize Muhammad, claim that Farrakhan represents Elijah Muhammad, when Elijah Muhammad said things that's totally contrary, totally opposed to everything that clown's saying? Now, let me give you a couple of examples. Now, this is a lengthy interview here. It goes on about an hour and a half. I won't play the whole thing. So I'm going to say some comments in the beginning. I may interject in the middle, right? Say a few things. and I will have some commentary at the end. I'll play the whole thing. If you want to fast forward through it, well, that's up to you. But I want to point out a couple things. One thing in there is Elijah Muhammad talks about Master Muhammad destroying America. He said he's going to take and he's going to ignite atoms, right? Explode atoms all over the atmosphere of the United States, and it's going to burn. I think take 390 years. The burns will burn the whole place up. Now, how is that when FARRAKHAN is saying America's not going to be invaded? We're going to inherit America. We ain't going nowhere. It's totally contrary to what Elijah Muhammad said God told him. They're going to destroy this country. It's even in fall of America, actually. But you see on the page, the whole page. But he said, we ain't going nowhere. We're going to inherit America. So he's calling Elijah Muhammad a liar. And he's calling Master Muhammad a liar. And then another thing. See, Elijah Muhammad's talking about exploding atoms over the United States when that wasn't even a consciousness. See, these clowns like Eric and all these seven, they didn't even wear this because they weren't even alive then. See, they probably think they had atomic bombs back then. They didn't have atomic bombs back then. He's talking about something that wasn't even a consciousness of any European, any in the world at the time. That wasn't even conscious. The best movies they had, the most scientific movies like Flash Gordon, those type of thing, the most powerful they had were death rays. Death rays. Nothing about atomic bomb. Wasn't even conscious. Nobody even thought about a so-called atomic bomb or splitting atoms back in the 30s. See? He's talking about it back then. He's talking about, he's going to light and gravity. That's a whole different thing. He's talking about something, I'm not going to go into it. Because there's a lesson that talks about that. It says, I can't say exactly, but it says, science split atom is 10 million parts, I believe it is. How much a crack atom weighs? Crack atom weight. See? And then you understand the lesson. Because that's talking about nuclear explosion. I'm not going to explain it. But he's talking about things before even anybody knew about it. Before they even had an idea of these type of things. Exploding atoms? There wasn't even consciousness anywhere in the world. Unless you was a scientist, original scientist, that was, outside, was outside of communication with the rest of the world, because we have some scientists alive. It tells you, Master Muhammad, father was a scientist, but they don't let anybody know it. And he knew where other scientists were. See? So those type of things he's talking about. See? He's saying the devil's devil, he cannot be reformed. Right? He said he's going to get rid of all of them. But Pharaoh said, remember today? He says, they can't be changed, with a few exceptions. Well, that's a lie then. With a few exceptions. See? That means if a few exceptions, all of them can be changed then. Devils are devils except for a few exceptions. So you can listen to this, brothers and sisters. I'm going to play the whole thing. So I'm getting ready to let them play it. And then you can listen now at your leisure. I'm doing it live, right? But you can look at it later. And I'm going to have some information to say, maybe in the middle of it, right? Or especially at the end. But like I said, brothers and sisters, there's no way that you can listen to this present, what Elijah Muhammad is saying here, and still claim that you, and following FARRAKHAN, still claim that you, Elijah Muhammad, and Master Muhammad, because you call them both of them liars. That means you're a no good liar yourself. So if you still with FARRAKHAN, then you're a demon, idiot, a viper, or just a stone-cold sellout if you're not just an agent. Because we know FARRAKHAN's a demon. Father's the devil, that's what demon is. So let me go on, guys. It's lengthy, it's an hour and a half. And so I'm gonna let it play. Let me set it up. And like I said, I may be saying things doing it. And I will have something to say afterwards. Okay, so, here, brother, let me set it up for you. sisters. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Can you allow us
Hour and a half, that's a
half an hour?
2 hours tape, I think you have on there. Put it on 3 point. Yeah, that's what it's on there. Good.
How long did you say?
That's a 2 hours tape.
2 hours tape.
Yes.
I see.
I didn't know how long
I
it
see.
was.
どんくらい2時間半テープが取れるようになってます。
Will that be enough time for you?
Oh yes, surely.
Well, whenever you...
Yes.
Yes, I just wanted to have enough tape.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I can test it out.
But still, they want the
訪問の理由は今、岩田さんを通じて申し上げました。
Or I have said the reason for his coming here to interview you.
それで、それではインタビューに入りたいと思いますが、私たちのドラッグモースに関する知識は非常にやはり限られたものであると思いますので、失礼な質問がありましたら、その点はご寛容ください。
Our knowledge that we have in Japan is quite limited because of the lack of news of your movement here. So if we ask you some rude questions, you will allow us, you will forgive us.
No,
Please.
no, that's all right. Ask any question you like.
どういう質問でも聞いて。
それではまずあなたの主張をお伺いしたいと思います。これはできるだけ正確なことを知りたいためでもあります。
In order to know the fact, he'd like to know first of all the things that you advocate in your movement.
I would like to give you a little summary of our work. First of all, I am a divine appointed person. I'm not a person that have picked up some kind of program on my own card. I'm divinely sent to warn my people of the destruction of the white race here in America, especially number one. And since my people are here, right in the midst of them, God have asked me to warn them to join on to their own kind and separate themselves from the white man, because he is going to destroy him and the white race. And America's number one. He said he would destroy America's first, and the others later on, but America's goes first. All the American people that is in Asia and Africa, he will have them brought back here, and here will be the death of all of them. And my work is to warn my people of this destruction that is now coming to America, and to teach them a knowledge of self.
To teach white people, you mean?
Teach my people
My people.
the knowledge of self, and to clean them up and reform them. My work is to reform them. They has been following the white man for 400 years, and they do as he said do, and he has led them astray and has gotten them practicing evil and filth. And my work is to reform them, make them fit for the acceptance of better society of our people in the world.
第一番目にですね、自分は何も自分だけのこの目的のためにですね、この地にあるのではなくてですね、神様が指名された地にあるわけだと。それが第一番目にしてまいりたいことだとですね。で第二番目はですね、この運動の目的というのは白色人種を滅ぼすことにあるのであると。それで白色人を滅ぼす場合に、まず一番にはこのアメリカを滅ぼすというわけですね。そして次第に、全世界の白色人種をですね滅ぼすということにあるというわけですね。Did you say that you were going to bring all the white people from all parts of the world to this land?
All the Americans
Yes.
that is living in other parts of the earth, Asia, Africa,
Yes.
the islands of the sea. He said he'd gather them all, bring them back here to kill them here
Okay.
in America.
全世界におるですね、白色人種をですね、全部ここに連れてきて、最初はアメリカ人ですよ。まずアメリカ人から始めたわけですね。そして、この国において殺してしまうと。ね、これが目標とするところであるというですね。それからもう一つはですね、この今の時代にですね、適するような生活をですね、このマイピープルと言われたですね、自分たちの民族がすることができるようにですね、改革をすることだと。教育をして改革をすることだと。大体ということですね。
キリスト教についてはどういうお考えをお持ちでしょうか。
What is your opinion of Christianity?
The white man's organized religion, they enslave black people. I don't accept it as being a divine religion. It is a religion that was organized by white people for the purpose of deceiving black people with, to control and rule the black people under that religion. Christianity is a religion, their fundamental principles of belief is contrary to the divine principles of God. Their principles of belief is first a belief in God the Father, second the Son, third a Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
And that they ascribe sonship with God. We don't believe in God having a son. He don't need a son. He's not married and he don't need a son. So to charge him with getting a son by Mary out of wedlock, then he's considered to have committed an act of adultery, since the divine law teaches against getting children out of wedlock. So they charges God with that. And it is backed by the power of the Western white imperialistic people, and Rome is the capital of it, and it is a complete religion of the white people. We believe in Islam. We believe in God being one. We believe His prophet is one.
Prophet.
We believe in His prophet as one. In the last day, He have a prophet with Him in the resurrection of the dead. We believe in Him as Muhammad, And we believe that in the judgment of the world. We believe in the judgment.
Judgment.
Yes, sir. And the resurrection of the dead. But we actually believe that we are the dead, mentally dead, that must be resurrected first. The so-called American Negro, who is not a Negro, it's a slang the white slave masters give him.
Yes.
His real name is, he's a member of the black man of Asia from a tribe in that nation by the name of Shabazz.
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 Could you spell that?
S-H-A-B-A-Z-Z.
Could I interrupt your comment? キリスト教というのはですね、大体この神の意志にですね、この反するものであると私は思っているんですね。父、御子、御霊って言いますね。God, Father, Holy Ghost という信仰をやってるけれどもですね、これは結婚もしないですね、間から生まれてきたものの言うことを信ずることであってですね、私たちはついていけないと。また後で詳しく聞いてください。よくわからないところは。そして、もう一つはですね、自分たちはイスラムを信ずると。その神の審判とですね、そして、resurrection of the dead ですね、死人の、復活ですね。これを私たちは信ずると。キリストの言うこの God, Father, Holy Ghost ではなくてですね、一つの神というものを信ずるというわけですね。You spoke about people being mentally dead. What do you mean by that? Your people are mentally dead now?
Mentally dead to the knowledge of self and their kind and God and the devil. They don't know these in reality.
そしてね、今ですね、自分の民族というのはですね、自分自身ということを知らないと。自分自身に対する民族意識がないと。それからですね、神のことを知らないと。それから死のことも知らないというわけですね。で、この死ぬことですね。自分の民族意識がないと。それから神様ですね、の意識がないと。それから死のことを知らないということ。本当はですね、ニグロと言っておられる、一般に言われているけどもですね、それはそうじゃないというわけですね。その言葉は、白色人種がつけた言葉であってですね、実際はこう、シャバースという言葉が本当なんだとですね、民族を表すですね。それでですね、そのように知らないからですね、自分たちの民族というのは今精神的に死んでいるということが言えると。これをですね、改革して、ちゃんと意識を持ったですね、人たちに仕上げていくのが一つの目標だということですね。
そうですね。
Now he has a question.
今まで私たちはブラックモスリムが白人社会からの絶縁を強く主張しているというふうにお伺いしていましたけれども、今モハメドさんのおっしゃることを伺いますと、さらに一歩進んで、白人を滅ぼすことであるとおっしゃったけれども、絶縁とするということよりも滅ぼすということの方が正しいお考えなのか、前よりも強くお考えお変わりになったのか、あるいは。
We have been told in Japan that the aim of black Muslims here is the separation of your people from the white folks. But since we have heard what you said now, your aim is really not only to separate yourselves from the white people, but to destroy the white people. That does mean that your theory has changed, or it has always been the same.
That's right. We must be separated from the American white people. We have been here under them as slaves for 400 years. They have mistreated us. They have beaten and killed us night and day. For the duration of that time, 400 years, we are still deprived of justice in America. We are not looked upon wholly as a human being. We don't have the rights of a human being here, not to think of civil rights. And we are asking for total separation. And if America doesn't wish to return us, if America doesn't wish to return us where we came from, then I am asking America to separate some of this territory where that we can live in a part of it to ourselves, set up our own borderline, and live and build a civilization like we want, and not as he wants. And that he, we believe that he is obligated, should be, to finance us in that which we will not be able to produce for the next 25 years after total separation in some part of the earth that we can call our own country. He supports us there.
He has to support you.
Yes, sir.
For
until
25
we are
years.
able
Yes.
to produce the needs of our people.
今ちょっと答えになっておりませんところがありますけれどもね、アメリカは過去400年間の間ですね、この我々の種族をですね、全く奴隷としてですね、虐待し殺してきたと。この間ですね、人間の正義というものは全然認められなかったしですね、人間としての権利も全然認めてもらえなかったというわけですね。それで、まずですね、我々はもう全然ですね、彼らと別れることを主張するわけだというわけですね。So you are thinking of going back to Africa if America takes care of that?
If America will return us
Yes.
back to Africa,
Yes.
That's just fine. We will go.
I see.
In the part owned by the Muslims, we can't carry Christian believer from here.
I see.
We all have to be Muslims
Yes.
to return to Africa, Arabia, Pakistan, any of those Muslim countries. We have to be Muslim. And the Christians stay here with the Christian for the voice.
それでですね、彼らがですね、白人たちが連れてきたところのアフリカとかですね、あるいは他の海峡国、例えばですね、アラビアとかパキスタンとかいうところにですね、戻してもらえるならそれでもいいというわけですね。でそれで結構だけれどもですね、もし戻さないならばですね、このアメリカの国土においてですね、一部を我々に割いて、そこで独立した、その独特のですね、文明をですね、築き上げることをですね、させてもらわないかんと。そしてこれはですね、白人の援助が必要だと。最初25年ぐらいですね、援助をしてもらって、そしてその後ですね、独立したところの文明をですね、築き上げる いうふうに目標にしていると。
プロボスとさっきおっしゃったけど、これはどういう意味でありましょうか。
Yes. Could you describe a little bit more about the destruction or killing of white folks that you mentioned before?
As I said in the beginning, that God has revealed to me His purpose to destroy America. The time of all white people is up as ruling powers over dark, brown, yellow, and red races. His time is up. He was to live only 6,000 years on our planet and rule us under evil, to try the original people under a ruler of evil. He was made a devil from the very beginning. Yes, he was made a devil and was taught tricks how to trick the original darker people into believing a lie for truth and truth for lie, and to divide them and put one against the other so that he could rule them. That's what he has been successfully doing with us here in America and in parts of Africa. And most all over the world, wherever he gets hold of that particular people under Christianity, he deceives them. And that people automatically becomes a subject of his. And God says to me that he will destroy this country in one day. And that, well, he said once it would be destroyed in 12 hours. And
Be destroyed in 12 hours.
in 12 hours. And I asked how. He says by cutting a shortage into gravity, causing the exploding of the atom over America.
Could you say that again, please?
Cut a shortage into gravity, and that will cause the exploding of all the atoms over North America and turn it into a complete flame of fire, as far up as air goes. It will be in a flame. And he said it will burn for 390 years.
God will destroy this part of the world, the whole world?
No,
This
just America alone.
world by cutting a shortage on gravity. Yes.
Cutting a shortage, causing a shortage
Yes.
into gravity. Like a shortage, in electric.
Yes.
And that will explode all the atoms
Yes.
over the country
Yes.
and turn it into a fire instead of air.
Yes.
Become a flame.
それでですね、質問なんですかな。
Why you translate that?
神様はですね、自分に啓示をされたというんですね。啓示をされたのであると。それはね、アメリカを、殺すようにと。もうすでにですね、過去6000年にもわたってですね、白人は、その自分たちをですね、奴隷として、非常なひどい扱いをしてきたというわけです。それでですね、いろんな悪辣な手段でですね、虐待してきたわけだけれどもですね、その中には、彼らを黒人たちをですね、この 一緒に住んでいるところをですね引き裂いて、そしてこの別々のところに住まわせるというようなことにしてですね、そして、自分たちのキリスト教の影響をによってですね、キリスト教化すると思うとですね、もうすでにこの知らない間に、白人に永住しているという状態にですね、黒人はなってきたわけだというわけですね。それで、白人の支配の時代はもう過ぎたんだと。タイムズアップと言われてですね。白人の支配の時代は過ぎたのだということ。これが神の啓示であるというですね。それからまた神のおっしゃることがもう一つあるわけだと。それはですね、いつかですね、将来において12時間のうちにですね、このアメリカをですね、火に包んで、この焼いてしまうというですね、ことを12時間のうちにですね、このアメリカを焼き滅ぼしてしまうということを神様は言われておるというわけです。でそれはですね、重心ですね、グラビティ、重心といいますか、地球のですね重心にですね、ショートで電気がショートするみたいにですね、ショートを起こしてですね、そして、それが火となって、フレームとなってですね、炎となって燃えて、あらゆる原子がですね、この爆発して、この炎となって燃えるという状態が起こりですね、390年間燃え続けるであろうと。12時間のうちにですね、滅ぼすけれども、炎は390年間燃え続けるであろうというふうにですね、神様はおっしゃっているわけです。これが神様の大事場面のことですね。わかりました。はい。
ここへ、行く前に私は、アメリカ人にいろいろ会いましたところが、ブラックモスレムの勢力は全体の黒人社会の 1% ぐらいだという小さな勢力だと言っておりましたが、実際はどのくらいあるでしょうか。またどういう活動をしておられるでしょうか。
He has been told in Japan that by white people that black Muslims account only for 1% of the colored folks in the United States. He wonders if this percentage is true. If you have any better information on this, you'd like to know. And also he'd like to know the activities, some of the activities that you are doing here.
We don't have a record of all the followers or believers. They are hard to keep up with. We get 100 today here, 50 over there, 25 here, 30 somewhere else, and then at the same time we get maybe 300 or 400 sympathizers. And you understand what I mean? Not say really joining up with us, but they with us in idea. And this way they may run to 1 million in sympathy, and maybe 250, 300 or 400,000 actually registered. See?
You don't have a record? No.
We don't keep a total record of all of them, but we do have a record of over 200,000.
ですね、あっちこっちにですね、100人とか50人とかいろいろこの信者を売るわけなんだけれどもですね、また、それをはるかに越すだけのですね、100人あるところでは300人というようなふうにしてですね、同調者といいますか、 支持者というものを売るわけです。それでですね、そういうのは、ね、おそらく100万ぐらいに達するであろうと。ではっきりした記録はですね、これに関してはないというわけですね。だけどですね、20万、実質20万だということが言えるだろうと。
で白人、フランス人なんかも入ってるというふうに聞きましたが、黒人ばかりじゃなくていろんな人種も入ってるんでしょう。
Or are there other groups like French or of other nationalities in your group?
No, we don't have any other nationality. We have some not French people, but we have a few of your people.
What people?
We have a few of your people.
Oh, Japanese or
yes,
Chinese?
And Mexicans, we have some of them, and Panama, and down through the Central Americans, we have some. But we don't say that
Assalamu alaikum. As I said, I would interject periodically. A little bit ago, he mentioned about the destruction of America, how Master Farrakhan would do it. And he said that he would, one second, bro, that he would cause a shortage in gravity and cause atoms to explode over America, destroying America, and it would burn for 390 years. Now, I'm pretty sure that sounds ridiculous to this person he's talking to, and it sounds ridiculous to anyone else he's talking to. But see, they knew I would understand it, what he said. And once I explain to you, you understand too, if you know anything about what I've been teaching you and anything about physics. Now, Master Muhammad always spoke of force in terms of gravity. That's the key there. Because they have a lesson that says an atom was split in 10 million parts, right? A cracked atom. Atom was cracked into 10 million parts. How much does a cracked atom weigh? And I've never met anyone that understood that lesson. So they disregard it. They think, well, you know. But remember, this lesson was revealed by Master Muhammad in the 30s, at a time when there was no conception of splitting atoms. There was no conception of atomic bomb. It wasn't even in anybody's mind. There wasn't such a concept of atomic weapons at that time, right? The most powerful weapon that they even had in their consciousness was so-called death rays, and that was in their science fiction movies like Flash Gordon and stuff like that. No consciousness of split atoms. Now, Elijah Muhammad's talking about he's going to take and cause atoms to explode in the atmosphere. So what? There was no concept of that in the 30s. So he's talking now in the 60s, but this was something that was revealed to him in the 30s when there was no concept of this. Now remember, Master Muhammad always, and everything I see in his lessons, he spoke of force in terms of gravity. Because he says, how much does a cracked atom weigh? And you look and you say, trying to figure out how, trying to weigh a cracked atom, but weight and force are the same thing. Weight is just how you express force in terms, right, of gravity. See, because when you talk about in that sense, then you say, well, you say a weight. Okay. So when you talk in terms of holding things down, then you talk in terms you call it weight, but it's force. Gravity is just force. So it is force. Right? It's actually a force differential, but it's still force. So when you said how much a cracked atom, how much force does a cracked atom have, then you were talking about, you should understand the problem. It's on a nuclear explosion. See, because he had to hide these things because he wasn't going to tell them about his power and the source of his power. He was going to reveal to them. So he told Elijah Muhammad in a way that would be, would camouflage it. So he says, how much does a crack atom weigh? But if you just change it, it says, how much force does a crack atom have? It's the same thing, just different wording. Instead of using weight, use force, because weight, force, same. But then you say, that's nuclear explosion, because you got all these atoms, right? You got atoms split, they got all these photons moving out of the way at the speed of light, right? So how much force they have, that's a nuclear explosion. He was talking about when they didn't have nuclear explosion. Now, when you understand that in this context, then look at what he said just now. He says he's going to cause a change in gravity, right? See, force. Because that's what caused time bombs to explode. It's either fission or fusion. Both are force. Fusion is the most powerful, where force adds together, and you get that's the most powerful explosion. You force all that force, you force atoms together, right? Like uranium bomb that they say Iran time, but that's a fission bomb. That's a small one. That's the one used in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? But that's the opposite, right? You're cracking atoms at that point. That's cracked atoms. That's fission, right? But that's force. It takes force to do that. Same thing. It takes fusion. It takes force, pressure. That's force. And that's what he's talking about. He's going to use fusion bombs to blow up the atmosphere, explode the atmosphere. That's exactly what he's talking about. See? But he, like I said, he usually talks about force. When he talks about force, he's always saying gravity or weight, those terms. Right? Remember the lessons, you have to study them. But when you understand that gravity, right, is force, you just flip the script and say, okay, don't say gravity, just use force. And then you understand what he's talking about. But either way, he's talking about this country being blown apart with nuclear explosions, and I always told you that's how America going to be. It's going to be nuked, right? With a time when there was no concept of nuclear explosions, no concept of cracked atoms in the 30s, no concept of fission bombs, anything, nothing like that, not even close. No one had any idea that kind of stuff. It took Einstein in the 40s, late 40s, to tell him that something like that was possible. You understand? So keep that in mind, brothers and sisters. See? So, and when he's telling you that that's what Master Muhammad told he's going to do to America, then how in the hell are we staying here unless you plan on being barbecued, Farrakhan? So is Elijah Muhammad a liar? Is Master Muhammad a liar? Do you know something different? Because he said his main target is to destroy America. He said if, maybe, whatever. And he said the only reason we stay here, right, is if they won't allow us to leave, which makes sense. Right? But as obviously, Master Muhammad will burn us up. He will take us out of here, like it says in Daniel. He will deliver us out of here before he blows this place apart. Farrakhan, there's no way that you can listen to this, what Elijah Muhammad is saying here and still be with Farrakhan if you claim it, you are Elijah Muhammad and you are Master Muhammad. Secondly, another thing he mentions is about you can only leave out here when we go back, return home, right, to Africa, that part of the world, as a Muslim. See, that's an insinuation about this. The Bible said the Christians can't have faith for the worst. That's it, because he never taught them demons, right? But remember, he's responsible to teach both the chaff and the wheat. And the chaff, right? That's the Christians. He says they can't go. That's what I tell you. Demons ain't going nowhere. That's what you have to study those lessons that we talk about. You understand? Now, whether he understood, he told what Master Muhammad told him, whether he understood it himself, that's another question altogether. Because let's say he didn't get it 100% correct. But I'm just explaining to you. See, because Master Muhammad knew I would understand it. And these scholars here, Eric, they don't understand it. They don't understand it at all. They don't understand any of this. And they probably never even heard this interview. So I thought it was worth playing. All of them are worth playing, but this one is special because they talk about certain things here, right, that you can go find in any of those books. Very powerful. See, so let's continue.
we have foreign people when it comes to you, but French and the American people are the same almost. They're white people.
Yes.
And we just exclude all whites.
白人は全部排斥して入れないのだってやつね。まあ、東洋人とか、あるいはメキシコ、パナマなんかのですね、中米ですね、の人は、少し入ってると。しかしながら、フランス人はもうアメリカ人と変わらないんだから。
で若い学生層が非常に多いという話も聞いていますが、そういう黒人の中でもどういう層の人が教養を感じているんでしょうか。
Or what are the kinds of colored people who are the believers of your belief? There are quite a few students, I'm told. Is that true?
About 99% of them is all my people here in America. There are Africans who wants to join up, and some of them I accept. They are in here just going to school, colleges, and universities.
Yes.
But still they want to join up with us.
Yes. Would you say more than half of students?
Well, I have probably all of them sympathizing with me, but actually to register up with us, we don't have many of them on the register because we not so particular about registering them up because they already is in the safe zone. The main thing we are after is getting our people out of America.
Yes.
And if we can't, well, okay, we got make, if it pleases him, he take Americans from them and give us a place here.
Yes. 大体の一番望むことはですね、このアメリカが出ていって元のアフリカに戻ることだというわけですね。で、さっき言いましたように、それがうまくいかないかなったらですね、もし神の意志であれば、このアメリカを奪ってしまうことだというわけですね。それで、
どうというのも、中に来る
テイクというやつですね。アメリカを取ってしまうというですかね。それでですね、学生っていうのはですね、まあ割と少ないと。まあそれいわゆる同調者を考えるならば非常に学生多いけれどもですね、登録ということにはそう力を入れてないというわけですね。でまあ、大体その中の 99% は自分たちの民族だと。99% は。
貧しい人たちが多いんでしょうか。
Are most of these are poor people, would you say?
Well, we have a few that is wealthy, just a few, but the greater percentage of them are real poor people. I would say 90% or more are poor people.
90% は非常にですね、貧しいと言えると思う。しかし少数は金持ちだと。
教団はですね、その他にも例えばいろんな活動をしておられると思いますけれども、いろんな活動をしておられると思いますが、麻薬やですね、酒を飲むという悪い習慣を断つように黒人に呼びかけておられるということを聞きましたが、いい面の活動の話を少ししていただけないだろうか。
We have been told that your movement is partly composed of encouraging people to get rid of the habit of dopes and drugs. Would you give us some other movement that you are engaged in this respect?
Anyone that follows me, he will have to quit dope and such thing is tobacco and alcohol, drinking, beer and whiskey. What I mean, you know, alcohol is drink. And no drunkards, no dope users, And no people who love to have games of chances idling at their time away in foolishness, if they come to us, we try and break them from such habit and to teach them to take life serious, that it was not given to us for sport and play. And especially us, while we are slaves, we should be thinking, trying to find a way out to self-independence. This is what we want, is self-independence from the white man.
ですね、自分に従おうとする人はですね、すべてその麻薬とか、タバコ、アルコールですね、もちろんビールも含むものであるけれども、それからですね、あらゆる掛け事ですね、これはすべて投げ捨ててですね、もらわなくちゃいけないということにしてると。体という、人間の体というものは何もですね、遊ぶためにできているものではなくてですね、真剣にですね、考えなくちゃいけないというわけです。我々が今考えなくてならないことは、そういうですね、遊びではなくて、その独立した国を作り上げることだと、そういうところじゃないというわけですね。
We don't like gambling, and we got to unite our people so that they will love each other. They must love each other, and each brother must be sacred. He must not draw the blood of his brother. What I mean by that, fighting each other. And they must not quarrel with each other. They must live in peace with each other. And they must stand up and fight and die for the cause with any enemy that is against us. If he attacks us, we are never to be the aggressor ourselves, but if he attacks us, we are to fight until we all are dead to try and win.
それですね、我々はこの我々の民族をですね、統一するという必要性に迫られているのであってですね、その民族の中ではですね、血を流したり喧嘩をしたり戦ったり戦い合ったりすることがですね、あってはならないと。しかし一方ですね、自分たちのこの大義にですね、反するような構図ですね、自分たちの使命に反するようなことをですね、する者があったならばですね、それ死んでもですね、大義を守るために戦わなくてはならないと。自分たちの民族が全部なくなってしまうまでもですね、最後まで頑張って戦わなくてはならないという気持ちでおる。
例えば自分たちの使命にですね、反対するのとは、NAACP などのようなアメリカ社会に協力する団体のことを指すわけでしょう。
You said you have to fight against people who are against your cause. Does that include people who are like NAACP?
We fight them with the truth. We never intend to attack our own people unless they attack us.
ですね、相手がですね、我々を攻撃しない限りは、こっちからですね、攻撃を仕掛けていくというですね、意図はもっと持ってないと。
The NAACP and the Corps are pleading to the white people for jobs and for social equality only. And that's no future for us. We want earth to build our own nation, produce our own nation's needs. That's what we're after.
その NWCP っていうのはですね、ものはですね、白人に対してお願いして仕事をくださいとか、あるいは平等に扱ってくださいということをお願いしているけれどもですね、それだけでは将来というのがないのであってですね、我々は将来を求めて自分たち自身の土地が必要なのだというわけですね。
ラックモスレムに入っている方々たちもアメリカ市民権を取っているというふうに私は考えます。そうしますと当然アメリカ社会に対する忠誠心とかあるいは愛国心とかということが問題になってくると思いますけれども、この点ではいかがでしょうか。
He assumes that the members or believers of black Muslims are citizens of the United States of America. If you are a citizen of America, you have to be loyal to America. In this connection, he'd like to ask for your comment.
We cannot and never will be citizens of America as long as we are here. We cannot be.
You cannot be
We
citizens.
cannot be citizens here. Our father was brought here as slaves.
Yes.
And that slave court is that no alien or foreign people of our kind, the dark people, no aboriginal can ever be a citizen of America. And that we are the property of America, never to be redeemed. That's their court. That we cannot even redeem ourselves. And therefore, we don't consider ourselves citizens of America. It's just only in word. It cannot be in deed because they don't treat us as a citizen. And in fact about it, they don't treat us as a human being. And we can't be citizens of America.
Yes.
We are from Africa, and they have never made us citizens. They didn't bring us here for no such thing, purpose as making us citizens. They brought us here for slave purposes.
彼らはですね、アメリカ人は我々をですね、スレイブと奴隷としてですね、連れてきたのであってですね、市民として連れてきたのではないわけだというわけですね。それで我々はですね、言葉では市民ということが言われておってもですね、実際上市民ではありえないというわけですね。Indeed と in words ということです。言葉が市民と言っても実際上では市民ではありえないというわけです。
今公民権運動が盛んに行われておりますけれども、もしこの公民権法案が通りましても、エライジャさんのお考えはお変わりになりませんでしょうか。
Now many people are engaged in civil rights movements, and if this great problem or movement works out well, your theory or idea will never have changed.
I never will change regardless if the government gives our people civil rights. I still will be fighting for separation.
たとえ公民権というものをですね、我々全面的に与えてくれてもですね、なおですね、その白人社会と分かるためにですね、戦いはもちろん変えないですね。
それで私たちは教団のことをもっと詳しくできればお伺いしたいと思いますので、教団の生まれたいきさつ差し支えなければお話になりませんでしょうか。
Or you'd like to know how your movement has got started in the first place.
On the coming of Mr. Farrad,
Pardon?
his name, Mr. Farrad, F-A-R-D.
F-A-R-D. Fard.
Muhammad.
Mr. Fard, did you say?
Well, that would be the
F-A-R-D?
pronunciation in English, but we in the Arab
yes,
it's Farrad.
Fard.
Farrad.
Farrad.
Yes, Farrad. And not the
先の人ですね。
for fun.
先の人、フォードさんってやつが言った人です。この人。あなた言ったでしょ、デトロイト。Detroit. He made a speech in Detroit. Yeah.
Came here in 1930. I met him in 1931 in Detroit, Michigan. And he was and is my teacher today. He is the one that I represent as Allah, meaning God, in person, whom the Bible, prophets, and whatnot predict this coming of one at the end of the white race time. In Arabic, they call him the Mahdi, one who is coming self-independent to guide the world back into Islam and to kill the infidels. As we say, God in person.
Alright, Mr. Fard came from Africa.
Holy city Mecca. Mecca, Arabia.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
In 1930.
31. 30, yes, sir.
1930年にですね、そのファーズさんというのはアラビアのメッカからですね、こちらに渡ってこられてですね、そして31年に私はお会いしたと。で、彼が私の先生であり、また今もですね、先生であるということですね。今もちょっと終わりますよ、これをですね。そして、バイブル聖書がですね、自分が彼ですね、アラであってですね、そして、白人の統治が終わった時にですね、そして独立が実現した時にですね、全世界というか、その社会をですね、治めるものと指定されたわけだったんですね。Did Mr. Fard appoint you as Allah or God or Bible? Or did you clarify that point?
No, sir. As his messenger.
Mr. Fard.
I am the messenger
of God.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And in what position did Mr. Fard appoint you?
He's God himself. And I am his messenger.
ファーズさんがですね、神様自身であってですね、ファーズさんが神様自身であると、そして自分はですね、その召使いである、召使いというかメッセンジャーであるというわけでですね、そのファード氏のですね、使命を帯びてやってるわけです。
今ファードさんはどうして
Where is Fard living now?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. That is something that we just don't know.
Not because-
Actually, where about?
Not because it is a secret, but you just don't know.
Just don't know.
秘密であるわけじゃないけど知らないの。But how do you get instructions or teachings from her?
Well, he left me enough to last me for about, I would say, about 40 years. And he gives me instruction, no, but it comes, by word in the ear.
直接聞くわけじゃなくて、耳からですね、彼の、指令っていうのは入ってくるというわけですね。そしてそうでなくてもですね、40年分ぐらいのですね、教えはですね、もうすでに、与えられておるからですね、当分必要でないという。
それではですね、差し支えなければモハメドさんご自身のことについても少しお伺いいたしたいと思いますが。
If it's all right with you, or he'd like to ask your own personal problems. I mean, your history, your date of birth, things like that.
I was born 1897, October the 7th.
October
The 7th, 1897.
1897
97, yes.
ですね。
And I was brought up in the state of Georgia on the farm. My father, he farmed. He grew cotton and corn and other farm products.
Or he was employed by a white man.
He was under the white man, yes, sir. Well, he didn't own his own land. He rented the land
Yes.
and for farming.
ジョージアに生まれたんです。じゃあ農場にですね、お父さんは農業をやっておったと。小作にですね、白人から土地を借りて作ってた。レントをしてた。
At the age of 22, around 22, I married. And I moved from Georgia to Detroit, Michigan in 1923.
You must have been 25 at that time in 1923.
About
Yes.
25
Yes,
when I left Georgia.
I see. But you married at
About 22.
約に
I left about 3 years after I married.
I see. 約21の時にですね、結婚をしてですね、まあおよそ3年近くですね、してからジョージアからデトロイトに移った。1923年だったと。デトロイトに移った。23年。
I lived in Detroit for 10 years and moved from Detroit here in 1934, and I've been here since that time. 29 years.
10年間ですね、デトロイトで、暮らし、それから1934年にシカゴに移った。シカゴに。それからずっとこちらに住んでいます。シカゴに。
奥さんは今でもお元気ですか？
You said you married when you were 21 or 22. Is your wife still healthy?
Yes, sir. She's still alive.
You live with her?
She's in Egypt at the time.
Oh, in Egypt?
Yes, sir. She lives.
ここに住んでるけど、今はエジプトに行っておられる。奥さんは。元気だった。
She's visiting her son. Our son, we have a son in Al-Azhar University.
Al-Azhar.
Yes, sir.
Could you please?
Al-Azhar. A-L.
A-L.
A-Z-A-R.
アラザーでですね、息子さんが大学に行ってる。Where is the Al-Azhar, please?
That's in Cairo, Egypt.
カイロですね。エジプトのカイロにあると。息子さんが。How many children have you?
8.
8人の子供。
6 boys and 2 girls.
6人の息子さん。2人が女。
こちらにいらっしゃる方も息子さんでございましょうか？
Mr. Sharif?
Yes, Sharif.
Sharif,
That's my son-in-law.
son-in-law, your daughter's
Yes, sir. My oldest daughter.
一番上のお嬢さんの旦那さんですね。
He has been following me ever since he was around about 14 years old.
14歳の時からですね、ずっと信者になっておられるんですね。May I ask your age now? 44. That's right. This is 30 years.
それでカイロの大学行ってらっしゃるのは何番目の息子さんでしょうか？
Or is the son that you mentioned just now who is going to school, or the eldest son?
No, so he's the youngest son of all. He's the baby of all of my family.
一番下ですね。
His name is Akbar.
Akbar.
It's A capital A-K-B-A-R. Akbar. Muhammad.
Akbar.
Yes, sir.
Muhammad. アクバ・マホメドといって一番下のお子さんですね。
その残りのお子さんは大学卒業されてアメリカでおられるんでしょうか。
How about the other sons? The other five sons.
I have other 5 sons.
Yes, they are in the States, United
Yes, sir. They all. Yes, sir. They all is here, all except in that one. They live right here in Chicago.
I see.
Yes, sir.
But they are not living with you in
No,
this house.
no, they all married there.
They are married and live in Chicago.
Yes, sir.
They live in Chicago. 全部シカゴに住んでおられる。その人だけを除いて。
何をどういう仕事をしてるんですか。
What are the occupations that your sons
But they mostly work for the movement.
They all fight for the movement.
Yes, sir. They
support you.
And they work in for a business such as the stores, you know, and cleaning establishment, and some is in the mosque, the temple,
Yes.
that have jobs there.
店を持ったり
Others work on the paper, paper staff.
Newspaper, you mean?
Yes, sir.
ニュースペーパーやったりですね、店をやったり、クリーナーの仕事やったりですね、教会、をマスクですね、やったりしておられるみんな。そしてみんなこの運動に、運動に協力しておられると。
そのうちにはそうすると、偉いリーダーさんと娘さんの旦那さんとだけがお住まいになる。
Please excuse us asking for personal questions, but what are the members who live in this particular house now?
This in my home here is my daughter and her husband over here,
Yes.
who has 5 children.
5 children.
5, 5, yes, but he have 5.
Yes.
1 son and 4 daughters. And I have an elder sister of mine live here.
She's not married.
She's not married, no, sir. She's pretty old. She's in her 70s. Her husband is dead.
I see.
And we have 2 secretaries that live here in the house. Personal secretaries.
娘さんとそのご主人ですね、5人の子供がおって、1人の息子と4人の娘さんがおるというわけですね。それから初期的な仕事をしている方が2人、それからあとこの先生の娘さん、結婚してないと。
で子供の頃に何か非常に強い印象をお受けになったことはおありでしょうか。その小作のお父さんが強い印象を。
Or when you were being raised on the farm back in Georgia, did you get some stimulus, particular impressions that has led you to this movement?
Well, I was on the farm working for my father. I was not married at the time. I was at home with him, and I helped him on his farm. And from a child up, as far back as around 7, 8 years old, I used to want to read, learn to read, and study the Bible. And religion I was studying up until the time that I was called to teach.
Yes.
Yes.
That was in Detroit.
In Detroit, yes.
大体ですね、農場では、お父さんの仕事の手伝いなんかで働いたわけだと。しかしながら、青年の時からですね、非常に読書が好きでですね、特にバイブルなんかは研究をしたというわけですね。で、そういうことがデトロイトでですね、神の召しを受けるまでは続いたんだと。
使えてないでしょうか。
Or I'm afraid, we are afraid that you are getting tired.
No, I'm not getting tired. You have some other important questions?
重要な質問があれば聞いてください。
それでは、ブラックモスレムがアメリカの国際問題について無関心であるということをアメリカの新聞に報道されていますが、この批判についてどうお答えになるでしょうか。
Newspapers all over the world report that black Muslims are indifferent to the present American international policies. Is that true?
Is what?
American international policies at the present stage.
Is independent. What did you say?
Yes.
Independent.
Independent.
To the American policy.
Yes. Indifferent. Indifferent.
Indifferent.
Yes.
To a policy.
Yes. Shows no interest.
Well, one thing about it, in the first place, Americans don't have us participating in her policy making. The so-called American Negro don't take part in the making of America's policies. And we are not interested in it because we want to get out of America. We want to get out from under his power. That's what I mean when I say get out of America. We want to go for ourselves. We are tired of being dominated by a cruel enemy who have no mercy on us.
第一に、アメリカのその国際政策ということにはですね、ニグロが今のところ関係してないということ、これが一つの理由だというわけですね。それからもう一つは、我々の目的というのはアメリカから出ることであってですね、この虐待をしてきたアメリカ人の元にはもうおれないというわけで、自然無関心になってくるということですね。You yourself is of course indifferent to the policies that has been adopted by the Kennedy administration.
Well, I don't take any part in it and don't have knowledge of their policies. When it comes to my nation, south side of America, I have not any knowledge of it, and so therefore I can't say that I'm done this for a con, but I have nothing to do with it. We don't take no part in it, and we know very little about their policies.
アメリカの政策についてはですね、よく知らないというわけですね。なぜならば我々というのは、彼らとは関係ないことだからというわけですね。彼らの政策と関係ない。
もう少しよろしくお願いします。
He has only a few more questions.
That's all right. Just take your time.
やはりアメリカ人たちが言ったり新聞に書いたりしていることなんだけれども、ブラックモスレムはヒトラーの民族主義と同じではないかというようなことも我々は時々読んだり聞いたりするわけなんですが、この点はいかがでしょうか。
It has been reported in newspapers that the activity of the black Muslims is quite similar to the activities of the Hitler administration in his nationalism.
Well, if Hitler wanted to make his people a better people and keep them to themselves, and not to mix up with any other outside races. I have no objection to a race want to be themselves and keep their race pure. I think that's a fine policy. This is what I want to do, is to get my people out of the hands or the power of Americans who are destroying them by intermixing their blood with them. And this is destroying us here with him. And he seeks now to force an integration which will further destroy us through intermarriage and intermixing and sweethearting and causing of legitimate children of his, and our people will eventually sink into nothing. We won't be able to point with pride to say, here is one of us. If we keep allowing him to visit our home, come among our women folks, and leave children there by himself. I intend to put a stop to it if I can get enough behind me, even if it caused death of the woman and the man that is mixing. Point. I intend to do it if I ever get a little stronger.
ヒトラーというのはですね、その民族の純粋をですね、目標にしてですね、他の民族と区別をして自分たちだけのですね、民族を作り上げようというですね、点においてはですね、全くこの賛成だと、ヒトラーの政策にですね。で、自分たちのやってることもですね、その点ではこの似たようなものであるというわけですね。で例えばこの黒白の共学とか差別撤廃の問題ですね、インテグレーションの問題にしてもですね、自分としてはこれはやめたいと思うと。で我々が十分に強くなったならば、なぜならばですね、こういうことはこの自分たちの民族の誇りというものを捨ててしまうということにつながるからであると。共学とか交わることですね。そうするとこれが結局ですね、黒白の結婚ということにもつながってですね、民族としての誇りがなくなってしまうというわけだから。わかりますか？賛成である。そうそう。はい。それからですね、話がちょっとずれてるみたいな話が。で、この国におけるですね、そのインテグレーションの黒白を一緒に住むというような、住まわせようというような運動がですね、起こっているけれども、これはですね、自分としてはできるだけ運動が強くなり次第やめたいと思うというわけです。なぜならこういうのは黒白の結婚ということを導くだろうし、そして民族としての誇りをですね、なくさせることになるからです。だから、in other words, can we look upon your ism as a nationalism in terms of races?
Well, I don't say that I have a ism in the first place. We don't have a ism. As I said in the beginning, my work is to separate our people from the white man and put an end to the destruction of both moral and life of our people under the white man.
Both moral and
life.
Life.
He's destroying both.
まあそれは自分自身には主義があるかどうかはですねわからないというわけですね。さっき言いましたように、その精神的な面あるいは、ライフですね、命というものをですね、黒人自分たちの民族に、持たせるということ作ることですねが目標にあるわけだから。
ではケネディとかですね、アーサー・スピーガンっていうの？アーサー・スピーガン、アーサー・スピーガンが NAACP のロイ・ウィルキン、それからクレイトン・パウエル、これは自分の世代に若いんですが、についても同様無関心であります。
Or in the same way that you are indifferent to Kennedy administration, are you indifferent to Arthur Spigen, the leaders of the movement, and Wilkins and Mr. Powell?
These organizations that you are referring to, who the head is Martin Luther King,
Yes, Martin
and
Luther King.
Wilkins,
Yes.
the sit-in and the NAACP's activity in the South to try to get equality with the whites in transportation and eating places and living quarters and fair employment. This is all right for people who want to remain as a subject people. But I am not one to be a subject people any longer. I want to be independent. I want to see my people on earth here that they can call their own earth. And they up off from their knees, going after their needs instead of laying down at the feet of the white people, praying to them on their knees and bellies, begging them for what they have, instead of going, uniting, and go out here and get this good earth here, and go to work and get whatever people's need. There we can get it out of the earth without begging. We want the freedom to go do something for ourselves.
I see. Thank you.
Yes.
大体今分かったかと思いますけどね、その彼らがですね、人種の平等をですね主張して、例えば交通機関とか、あるいは食堂だとか住居だとか、あるいは食だとかいう面でですね運動をしていると。これはですね白人の隷属のもとに甘んずる人たちにとってはですね、結構だというわけですね。いつまでも白人にお願いして、何くださいこれくださいとこのお願いする人たちにとってはそれでもいいだろうと。自分の求めるとはですね、そういうんじゃなくて独立であるんだから自分自身の土地、何も人に、物乞いしなくてもですね、自分の欲しいもの、必要なものがですね得られる土地を選択しなさい。
では、ラストクエスチョン。最近やはり、最近ですね、私たちはいろんな若い黒人に会ったところがかなり、証明をしている人もおりました。またある程度同調しながらもついていけないという人もいました。だから非常に私たちこのことに興味を感じたわけなんですが、運動の資金というものは一体どこから出ておるんでしょうか。
Alright, now he has met quite a few colored people in the United States since he came over. And some of the colored folks said that they sympathize with your movement here, but others said that they cannot go along with you. And others said that they can go along with you to a certain extent. But above that, they cannot go alone. And Mr. Tsuji is interested in knowing how how you collect funds to carry out your movement?
All the believers, followers, they give whatever they can of their earnings. They love the teachings, and they want to be free of the white man, and they give all they can to support this teachings throughout the country. And pardon.
Yes, sure.
And that the others who are dependent on the white man to support them forever, we're not concerned over them. They want to be too proud to accept the program that I have for my followers, and God, who have given it to me, that's their material with me. Whether they go along or not, we will be the winner.
Uh, いいですね、続けて。ね、いろいろやってください。それでね、そのお金というのはですね、
いや毎日の生活をどうしていらっしゃるか、例えば公園旅行していらっしゃるとか、大変お忙しいかと思うんだけれども、その時はどのような生活していらっしゃるのか。
I see. He'd like to know some of the routines that you have in your daily lives. You must be very busy, engaging in many activities. He'd like to know some of the things that you do every day.
Mm-hmm. Well, my greatest work is answering correspondence here and throughout the world, and forming speeches. I say and forming.
Yes, informing.
Yeah, not informing, but forming. F-O-R-M-I-N-G.
Yes.
Forming speeches
Yes.
for the people and taking care of problems of domestic affairs and business affairs of my followers. That's my daily work.
大体ですね、世界の人たちおよびこの国内の人たちにですね、いろいろな問題を答えてやること、そして、お話、演説会みたいなものをですね、世話すること、そして、その信者の人たちのですね、仕事とか、あるいは、家族のことをですね、面倒見てやることという様子ですね。
大変お忙しいわけですね。
That makes you quite busy.
ご自身の講演は何でもされますか？
Or do you make speeches quite often yourself?
No, not too often, since that I have been bothered with bronchitis.
Yes. ちょっと
But I do it in writing.
気管支炎ですね。あんまりできないけど、あんま
About
り
10 more minutes.
け
Go.
れどもですね。
Brothers and sisters, about 10 more minutes.
質問もらえますか？
もらいましょう。
Could we get a copy of your newspaper of any date?
Yes, sir.
Just to see what.
Give you the latest copy.
初め入ってこられた時にご用心かと思って
I have 3 or 4.
思ったんだけれども、そうではないの。
Alright. The first impression that he got of you was that you may be from the Far East.
Oh. No, sir.
No.
Not from Far East.
Nice. Your ancestors were born in Arabia?
No, sir. Born here in America.
In America. Oh,
Yes.
so they came from Africa.
Yes, sir.
Very.
That's right.
Africa?
Descendants of Africa.
So your father and mother were both colored people?
Yes, sir. They are.
But your skin is lighter than many colored people.
Well, due to the double mixing in our people's blood, you know.
Yes.
And we had them under slave. Yes.
どれの間にね、気が回ったんだろう。Yes. You look more like Chinese or Japanese so far as skin is
Not
concerned.
speaking.
Yes.
Used to mistake me sometimes
Oh.
for such, and FBI, when they arrested me back in 42 for this teaching, they asked me, did people mistake me to be one of Chinese or Japanese? So I told them I didn't know. They said these things I don't know.
FBI にですね、42年に捕らえられた時もですね、FBI の連中がですね、そういう質問をしたって。
Dr. Takahashi.
Dr.
Takahashi. He used to visit my home. That's when I lived in Detroit.
I see.
And he would have his meals. That was when I first started this movement.
I see.
Yes,
FBI にやっぱりこの問題で逮捕されたわけでしょ。
Or what was the reason or on that particular time when you were arrested by FBI?
Well, just they didn't want me to be out teaching my people that they was Muslims and they didn't have no rights to be in the war that they was in. They should not participate in a war against our own people. Going to war against you at the time, and that we should not fight our own people for my enemy of us both.
我々同じですね、米国人の中でその戦争を起こすようなことはですね、いけないというわけです。
主張がダメに捉えられた。
そうですね。
いや本当に大変長い間ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much. I appreciate your patience.
That's all right.
Sitting here so long.
Too glad because of the time that we're in now and what we are expecting of the change. We should meet sometime and talk.
今ですね、この変動の時代ですね、これからも変化するだけのこういう時代に、できるだけそういう機会を持って話してなんて思ってる。
I'm very glad to get his appointment with the head of the great newspaper of your country. I'm very much honored to have him to visit my home. I hope that someday in the future, if he ever is in the state, to stop by again, we would be too glad to furnish him any material of ours to put in his paper.
どういう資料でも喜んでいただけますからお呼びになります。Well, thank you very, very much.
You're so welcome. So very, very
Good luck.
Yes, sir. We drink coffee most of the time.
Oh, I see.
But would you have some coffee or tea or anything? We don't drink much tea. We're mostly coffee drinkers.
大抵コーヒーを飲んでですね、お茶もあんまり飲まないと。Your son-in-law told me that you spent some time of a year in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yes, sir.
For health reasons?
Yes, sir. I've been living out there off and on for over a year now.
I see.
And I'm thinking of returning to Phoenix sometime next week.
来週まで行く。
中国の陶器がだいぶあるようですけれども、あれはああいうものがお好きなんでしょうか。
Are you interested in Chinese wares like you have there?
We're interested in all our people, in all of them, other than the Caucasian devils.
コケシャンを白人を除いたですね、あらゆる人民族に関して思ってると。
あれみんな息子さんでしょうか。
Are there the pictures of your sons?
This one on the corner here
Yes.
is not my son, that's my nephew,
Oh, your nephew. Oigo-san.
a sister's son. And the next one is my own picture.
Yes.
And the other one over here is my wife.
Oh, I see.
And the other one on the other corner is
Yes.
my son.
I see.
This one over here is my son. This is
I got
my
it.
wife, this is myself, and this is the nephew.
What does the son at the corner do now? Or he's not the one that is a student, is he?
This one here,
Yes.
he's active in the temple.
I see.
Yes, he's
もう一回だったら
officer in the temple.
はい、一応向こう。
一面かぶってるの奥さんでしょ。
はい、奥さんですね。
ご本人。
はい。それが、これはおいごさん。おいごさん。
誰ですか？
こ
もう一人の誰ですか？
おいですか？
おいですか？
これは、娘の、向こうでしょ。だからおいごさん。Does this nephew have his own temple to help you?
Well, they all help me throughout the country.
Yes.
We, the temples are all on the one head. Wherever they are, it's just the same as this one, we're all on one head. Yes, sir.
But not all the Muslim temples cooperate with you.
All cooperate on me. I direct all of them.
Really?
Yes, sir. I'm the head and director of all.
I see.
Yes.
全ムズルムの支配をしてるんですね。全米の。
この浄土宗はみんな新しいようですが、最近supply 付けられたものかどうか。
Much of the furniture that you have here in this room seems to be quite new. You have recently bought these?
Yes, sir. Some of it. My followers give me one piece. One give me this.
Oh, I see.
One give me that.
Oh,
And another one give me. It's from different ones of my followers.
I see.
They give me what I have here. I don't never buy anything myself. Only my followers buy and give it to me as gifts. This rug it came from Egypt. It was given to me there. And Egypt shipped it here. I have two more that was sent here from the president.
President of who?
Nancy
Nancy.
of Egypt. The president.
の大統領。なってるから、まあ、それが来たからこれと一人以外ね、これじゃなくて。President Nasser gave you rug. Nasser gave you rug.
Yes, sir. Egypt have one or two very nice ones upstairs.
Or do you get some donation in your movement for the Egyptian government too sometimes?
No.
You don't. You don't.
I never asked for any.
I see.
I'm
You get help on individual basis.
Yes, inside. I will not.
まあ、そういう政府なんかからですね、金の援助は全然もらわないけど、これ住んでた。And this is a house that you moved in when you came from Detroit to Chicago. Or
Yes, sir.
have you lived in?
Oh, I rented some. Also from next street over from Michigan Avenue. Well, I lived on Michigan too.
Oh,
And well, I needed to move several times.
I see.
Renting it before, but on this place.
This place
My
is.
followers bought this place for me in 1951.
I see.
Yes.
51年にこれですね、近所が建ててる。それまでは借りてくる。失礼します。Well, thank you very much.
Oh, you don't have to thank me. I thank you. I'm honored for you to come and visit me.
私の方から感謝したい。
For more information on the life-giving
Hey, brothers and sisters, I think it speaks for itself. I don't think I really have to add much to that. Just a couple of things I want to mention. Think about this for a minute. He said Master Muhammad only gave him enough wisdom for teachings for about 40 years. Think about that, for 40 years. That's approximately how long he actually taught before he left in 1975. The beginning of 1975. Said only gave him enough for 40 some years. Where's that? Why would he say it like that? You know? I mean, it's like Prophet Muhammad saying, well, he only gave me the Quran to last for 500 years, 1,000 years. See? No, last was that means the knowledge that he left behind was only good for 40 some years. He talked about things beyond that, but he said he only had 2 years. So think about that one. FARRAKHAN, all the clowns out there, 42 years. 42 years. About 40 years. Then he says his mission was to get us back to Africa. So Farrakhan said we ain't going nowhere. So how is he consistent with what Elijah Muhammad was teaching? How is he promoting Elijah Muhammad's mission if his mission is to get us back home? Farrakhan says we're not going anywhere, in spite of the fact that Elijah Muhammad in his interview says the purpose of the Master Muhammad is destroy America, destroy it, burn it up, all of it. And it's been on fire for 309 years. Farrakhan said we're not going anywhere. Keep those things in mind, brothers and sisters. Anyone that heard this, unless they're saying photoshopped, there's no way they could be with Farrakhan after listening to this. Not just this, just anything like I'm talking about, and still could call themselves followers of Elijah Muhammad, followers of Master Muhammad, and proclaim that Farrakhan is teaching Elijah Muhammad's teachings. He's not a hypocrite. Because they're saying Farrakhan was anointed by God. Show me in scriptures where he was anointed by God. God in the scriptures got angry at Moses for even suggesting Farrakhan. For even suggesting Aaron. He said, you don't need him. It was Elijah Muhammad that pointed Farrakhan. God had don't put God's name on that bullshit. Because he didn't have nothing to do with it. He was against it. He said he became angry even at the suggestion of it. So those are a couple of things you might want to consider, brothers and sisters. I'm not going to, like I said, it speaks for itself. I'm not going to push this because, Farrakhan's gone. So this is what takes place, he's finished. But he's not destroyed until, right? The 5-month plague, locust war, demon war, then he's destroyed. Because there's 9 plagues coming. I intend to talk about that soon. But as we're so close, this thing could happen any day now. We're already at war, brothers and sisters. World wars don't start when they start shooting. It starts before that. The shooting is usually the last phase of it, especially in the so-called nuclear war. There'll not be a nuclear war, but America will be nuked. I've been saying it. God Muhammad said it. Farrakhan said we ain't going anywhere. So that means you're going to toasty crispy toasties, whatever you call it. Crispy critters. Unless you say Elijah Muhammad is a liar. Master Muhammad is a liar. So keep No. Keep those things in mind. It says the purpose to keep devils out. Farrakhan said, no, bring them in. So how in hell, that's why, brothers and sisters, I don't tell you what to do. I would do what you want. I don't see the point. Because there's no way in the world, especially after listening to something like this, they leave going within 1,000 miles of Farrakhan, unless they're demons, vipers, total idiots, agents, any case, no any of them. Because no sane person, no real person could ever be with that fool, that lion, that skunk, that son of a devil, chief demon. Everything speaks against him. All the scripture speaks against him. There's no scripture speak for him. Even the Quran, that Moses wanted to grab him by the beard, wanted to kill him. Even in the Quran. So how in the hell is he God's spokesman if Moses wanted to kill him? In the Quran. But they dance all around that because they ain't paying attention because their demons have no choice. The idiots, they don't know any better. And we don't want them either. The vipers, well, they're going to see what they can get out of it. Help them rip off people. The agents, they're going to keep them on course. Because Farrakhan is not even in control. It tells you the government's controlling him. He's a puppet. I mean, he's so pathetic. The demons got control, but the devil's got control of the demons. The demons got control of, it says, this, right, this mouth, right, would make war with the saints. Who are the saints? If you say, aren't you saints, you're going to inherit the kingdom? So they make war with you for 40 years, to overcome you. So if that's not Farrakhan, he's got 40 years of misery coming to death. Farrakhan's not the one that's doing it. What about that scripture? And it says, that mouth, right, was part of a horn. So it wasn't even control of itself. Wasn't even control of itself. He's a puppet. He's no good stinking devil. He's a puppet. That's why he got disemboweled. He's cursed with a curse, robbing God. His days are less than numbered. I mean, in my mind, he's already history. Time's got to catch up with him. I'm already looking back at him. I'm looking back at him being roasted to dust, crushed to dust. I'm looking back, mine's in the future, right? Already seen what you're looking to see. I've already seen it. That's the power of the angel. See, foresight. I mean, see, before it happens, it means you're ahead of it. You're ahead of it. If you're ahead of it, that means you're not a victim of it. See, that's even more powerful than the 5 fundamental pillars of Islam, right? Because if you're strong enough to take a punch, it's better than just to punch all together, ain't it? Okay. Angel gives you the ability to miss the punch all together. Okay. I'm ahead, I'm looking back. I already see him roast. In my mind, he's already gone. He's history. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. We're going to leave it there. But keep that in mind now. Elijah Muhammad said, Master Muhammad gave only enough wisdom, 40 some years. Think about that one. Assalamu alaikum.